started. So enjoy the music, enjoy each other for just a few more minutes. And thank you again for coming out this morning. everyone. Now, good morning to the rest of us. Good morning. If you are standing in the back behind the cones, we would love for you to come and join us closer up. Thank you ever so kindly. So my name is Trinita Carroll, and I have the honor of serving as the Executive Director of Family and Community Engagement. And joining me is...
Good morning, everyone. My name is Johnny Williams. I'm the Arts Integration Coordinator here in Spring in the Performing and Visual Arts Department.
And we are, again, thankful that you all are here to join us. We will now begin our program. Please give a warm welcome to our Superintendent of Spring ISD, Dr. Craig Cuellar.
Good morning, everybody. Well, the clouds held out, so that's great for such a wonderful event, and so glad to see everybody here. Thank you again for making us your priority for this Monday morning. Truly an honor to see everybody, and welcome to this truly meaningful event. The unveiling of the I Choose to Rise mural project here in Spring ISD. And on behalf of our district, I want to thank each of you for joining us to celebrate not just the work of art that you see before you, but the powerful symbols of resilience, transformation, and perseverance. Before we go any further, I'd like to acknowledge a few distinguished guests who are joining us today. Of course, none of this work is possible without the fantastic governing body who oversees the day-to-days of this district. And I want to recognize the fantastic school board here in attendance. We have President Justine Durant, Vice President Natasha McDaniels. We have Assistant Secretary Trustee Rhonda Newhouse. And we have Trustee Winford Adams, Jr. And to our elected officials that are joining us today, thank you so very much. Commissioner Rodney Ellis, who made this dream for us happen. We have District Attorney Sean Tier. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. We have Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. State Rep Charlene Ward Johnson. And also we have principals in attendance. We have Trent Johnson from Bammel Middle School. Laura Hunter, principal of Westfield High School, in the back waving. And we have Miss Lakeisha Dunavant, our principal at Bammel Elementary School. And we have members of our senior leadership team in attendance, if y'all can wave. And all members of our staff and community that are joining us. And of course, we save the best for last, our fantastic students that are here representing Spring ISD. Thank you, students. These murals are a reflection of a community's strength, of families and young people who have faced adversity yet continue to stand tall, with hope, resilience, and determination. They are a visual reminder that every choice we make, every small act of courage, helps us rise together as one. At Spring ISD, we believe deeply in the power of education, creativity, diversity, and community partnership that transforms each of our lives. The murals, inspired by the voices of our students and championed by the Office of Harris County Commissioner Rodney Ellis, the Harris County Rise Empowerment Center, and the Street Art for Mankind group, remind us that even in the face of challenge, our story can be rewritten. One choice, one step, one generation at a time. We are proud to be part of this important moment and grateful for the collaboration that brought it to life. And now it's my honor to introduce someone who has long championed this vision, a leader whose heart for this community and commitment to our students continues to inspire us all. Please join me in welcoming the president of Spring ISD, Trustee Ms. Justine Durant.
Thank you, Dr. Cuellar. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here this morning, standing here with you today before this powerful work of art. Isn't it powerful? I am reminded of what it means to be part of a community that refuses to be defined by its struggles, a community that chooses instead to rise. Our Spring ISD community is so much more than a local collective of schools. It is a living story, a writing by families, many who have overcome loss, displacement, hardship, and yes, we continue to build lives rooted in hope and possibilities. These murals brought us through a collaboration between Commissioner Rodney Ellis's Street Arts Street Art for Mankind in collaboration with Spring ISD. It's a narrative of courage, healing, and enduring. They serve as a perpetual inspiration to rise above our circumstances and unlock our limited possibilities within. Each image breaks through with every brushstroke. It reflects a truth that resonates deeply with our students and our families, that no matter where we start, the message of I choose to rise is not just a painting on these walls. It lives in the hearts of our young people who are learning to see themselves as capable, worthy, and boundless. So today, as we unveil these beautiful works of art, let me remind all of us, every moment we're offered a choice: to give up or to continue in hope, to extend grace, and to build something better together as a community. Today, I look around and I see our young, our old, and our hardworking. I see our elected officials here in support of Spring ISD. I just want to continue to say thank you to everyone for being here this morning, and let's go ahead and keep this program going. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Trustee Durant. Let's give her another round of applause. At this time, we'll have a spoken word performance by one of our bright Spring ISD scholars. Put your hand together and help me welcome from Westfield High School senior, Jaliyah Muhammad.
Good afternoon. You all look wonderful. It gives me a great honor to be sitting here in front of you and being selected for this original piece to honor We Rise, so thank you. I choose to rise. Not just to stand, but to grow, to be curious, to wonder, to ask, what if? Because every what if unlocks something inside of me. Curiosity, that's my spark. And I am the fire that keeps it glowing. I rise with kindness because we rise by lifting others. Empathy does not make me soft. It makes me strong. When I see someone fall, I lend a hand, not a punchline. When I see someone cry, I don't just walk by, I stand by. And if I stumble, I don't just quit. I learn. My mistakes do not define me. They refine me. Resilience, that's my rhythm. Growth, that's my grind. And failure, that's just feedback when you're on the climb. I dream big, not for someday, but today. My purpose is not waiting, it's working. And when I say I will be the change, I mean I'm going to start the change. Because integrity is doing the right thing even when no one's watching. We rise for the planet, for the trees, the sky, and the sea. Now, is it too much to ask to recycle, conserve, and protect? Because respect for our planet is respect for our home. We rise louder. We carry the stories of those we have lost. We carry their names in our hearts. And we carry their dreams in our choices. So when I say never again, I mean I'm choosing better. I choose light over dark. I choose right over wrong. I choose peace over war. And I choose together over torn apart. Because we are stronger together. So every day, I choose to rise.
Wow. All I can say is, wow. That was absolutely inspiring, Jalea. Your words and your passion, they remind us of the hope and the potential that thrives right here in our community. So let us give Jalea one more round of applause. Thank you so much. Now, it is my privilege to introduce someone whose leadership and dedication have made a lasting impact here in Harris County. And I can't just say Harris County. I have to tell a very, very quick story. So I'm about to introduce who we know as Commissioner Rodney Ellis. I know him as Senator Ellis way back in the 73rd legislative session, which would have been 1991. I worked for him. He put me through college when I was at UT. And so I am absolutely, absolutely honored that we have come full circle in all of our partnerships over the last few years. It warms my heart. And so I am very, very honored to introduce our keynote speaker for this morning, Commissioner Rodney Ellis.
Thank you, Trinita. Trinita was an intern in my Senate office, and she hadn't changed one bit. She was running everything then, as she still runs it now. I want to thank the Board of Trustees, in particular, Chairwoman Durant, for trusting me and trusting the artists with these walls. It's really a lot to ask somebody to let them just come over into your school district and just take your walls, and you're not sure what they're going to put on them. So I did pick her up early one morning, took her, I think I kidnapped her. My wife calls it Rodney napping her. I kept her for about a good 2.5 hours, just touring murals, so that this was worth doing. This is a part of an experiment. It's called CPTED, Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design. It's a concept that has been around for some time. We use federal money, ARPA money from the Biden-Harris administration to do this. Obviously, if a crime is being committed in your household or in your neighborhood, there's no substitute for traditional law enforcement, and that is important. There's no substitute for when you end up in the judicial system, making sure you got a prosecutor. And you're going to hear from the sheriff and our district attorney as well. But sometimes to really stop crime, you got to think beyond just the traditional things that we do. I happen to represent the 2 neighborhoods in Harris County that qualified for the bulk of this CPTED money because they rated the highest in terms of the crime index and other challenges in those neighborhoods. One is a neighborhood I'm from, Sunnyside, and the other one is this neighborhood, Cypress Station. Now, having grown up in Sunnyside, I never knew that there was a crime problem. I never ran into it, didn't participate in it. But the statistics are the statistics. We've invested a significant amount in the street lighting, in the sidewalks, in the streets in this neighborhood. Things that make people feel invested in their community. But we've also found out one of the best ways to stop crime is to keep it from ever happening. So we pioneered our violence interruption program in this neighborhood and in Sunnyside. We also pioneered our holistic response so that sometimes if it's a mental health breakdown, instead of asking our to call in a mental health expert. So these are new mural locations. Notice I didn't say 8 new murals. I count this as about 5, as massive as these are. But 8 separate locations that will transform Cypress Station. Each tells a story. They were designed for safety and built with pride. We're talking about the power of art and the power of septet. These murals show hope, strength, and imagination, places of purpose. Of heart and of creativity. The examples of community care. This work reflects our broader vision for public safety, prevention, connection, and opportunity. This vision is already getting results. Cypress Station is where we piloted our holistic assistance response team. It is also an area of focus for our violence interruption program. In the last 2 years, crime in Cypress Station has dropped by 30%. That deserves a round of applause. Showing that rather than simply reacting to crime, is better to try and prevent it in the first place. The I Choose to Rise Outdoor Museum, and that's what it is, outdoor museum. These murals were created with students and teachers. Each one highlights key values like resilience, imagination, and empathy. The work showed that Cypress Station can remind us of the role art can play in our lives. It can help us focus on issues like safety, focus on people who live in this neighborhood. These murals are only a beginning. Here in Cypress Station, we're going to build 5 more miles of new sidewalks to connect homes and schools and parks, to get people to interact with one another instead of just reacting to one another. We're fully rebuilding Heifer Road to make it safer for families, to Maya Elementary, with construction set to begin in 2027. It takes time to get the money together, but it's coming. We're advocating for an expansion of our HEART program, which has been so successful. That'll come about in the near future so they can continue their good work. The data is clear. When we invest in how a place looks, how it makes people feel, we invest in the area we want people to call home and treat it like it's their home. Finally, this work shows the power of partnership. Partnership with the county, schools, artists, and residents. It shows what is possible when public dollars are used with care and intention. Together we can build Harris County where every neighborhood can thrive. And I want to just stress to you how important it is, Trinita, that we could bring in county officials at the highest level of county government. And the county attorney, I mean, our district attorney represents about 5 million people. That's more than 26 states. And there are a lot of places that he could be this morning, but we called him and said, we're having this is just a FYI. He said, I'm coming. Would you please welcome the district attorney for Harris County, Sean Tier.
Okay, I was going to start by saying how honored I am to be able to kick this off at the home of Ed Oliver, my favorite football player from U of H, who went here. But after listening to Miss Muhammad, I think we are going to be saying in short order that this is the home of her. That was amazing. That was amazing. Issues and things like this mural and beautification, Rodney said it perfectly. It builds a sense of community where there was a sense, but it was disproportionate. It was over here and over there. Sidewalks, lights. These are the ways to deal with the root causes of crime. Food insecurity. Taking care of things before they happen is the best way to deal with crime. And as Rodney said, when crime happens, that's why Sheriff Gonzalez and I are here. Our jobs, by definition, are reactionary. We have to be proactive as a community in tackling the root causes of crime so that we don't have a jail where we're paying $54 million to outsource human beings before they're ever convicted to private prisons in different states. We have been successful in canceling one of those contracts already, Sheriff Gonzalez. We are going to strive to cancel all of them. But it's programs like this, it's programs like HART and Cypress Station that really will be able to get us there. And Rodney, I don't think we can call it an experiment anymore. We're 2 years of violence interruption in HART by these incredible people over here. And because of that, violent crime is down 30%. It's not an experiment. This is data. This is data-driven work. When you make communities safe and people feel connected, crime goes down. When we started this, when you started this, it was attacked and maligned by a lot of people that were planting trees to fight crime. Well, the data's in. It works. So we need to double down. We need to go bigger and better in all the communities because we do have more people than 27 states. We've got a big job, but we need to be better all the way around, and it starts right here. So thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to go on this tour. And Rodney, great job, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Muhammad, he was right. That was a powerful presentation. I'm going to end my day about 8:30 and fly to Chicago, and I'm going to visit with Reverend Jesse Jackson in the morning. The original I Am Somebody. I can remember when I was in college hearing him give that speech. And, now that obviously his voice is slowing down a little bit, I can talk to him. I don't know how much talking back he's going to do, but I'm going to tell him about you tomorrow morning when I get to that hospital in Chicago. Our next guest is the sheriff of Harris County. I've known him for a very long time. He's been so supportive of both of these two new programs. We couldn't have done it without federal money. That federal money is going to go away. And I'm convinced that he and the DA will help us make the case to continue this. Thank you so much. You got a lot of places you could be. Please welcome our sheriff, Ed Gonzalez, who's doing a great job. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Let's hear it up for him. He's a tremendous leader. We're so fortunate to have him. Known Commissioner for a very long time. You have such a wonderful legacy. Legacy is something that we sometimes reflect at the end of life, if you will, but I know you still have so much more to give and do, and it's been just amazing to see everything you've done. And greetings to everyone here, to Spring ISD, to the trustees, the chairwoman, the administrators, educators, superintendent, thank you so much. All the guests that are here, it's such an honor to be with you here today. I think it's indicative for the district attorney, Mr. Sean Tier, to be here as well, because I think it's already been said, we believe in partnerships, we believe in collaboration, we believe that public safety is a shared responsibility. And it really truly takes a village. It's not just a cliche. It takes a community. It takes educators. It takes elected officials and others to really come together and to think thoughtful solutions to complex problems. It's not just about enforcement. It's about also doing the intervention and prevention work. It's about considering programs and strategies such as crime prevention through environmental design. And that's why we're here today, because we support this. We see value in all of that. And to me, as I was sharing briefly with the superintendent, here in Harris County, every year we have 90,000 children that have a parent that's incarcerated in our jail system. And we've got to do better at a community, because if not, they're going to struggle in school. We know that statistically, we know that they're likely to become justice involved at some point in their lives. So it really takes making sure we're lifting up a strong education system, such as Superintendent Dr. Cuellar is doing and the board is. But we also have to make sure that we have thoughtful public safety partners that are also considering other options, because incarceration is not the only way. It's just one way. But there's other options that need to be considered. But working together, we could also make big things happen, just like we're seeing the crime reduction in the greater Cypress Station area. 36% overall reduction in crime, more than 40% of some of the violent crime that's occurring. And that's not by accident. It's by being intentional in things we're investing in, making sure that we're doing beautification projects, that we're dismantling those old complexes that may be harbors for crime and other bad activity. So it's really a combination of a lot of things. But today it's really to reflect on these beautiful murals. They represent so much than just what we could see, the visual beauty that it projects. It's also about represents resilience and hope, and also pride, a pride in a community that's committed to rising together. And so I commend the artists, the students, the Art for Mankind, everybody that's here. Also want to recognize and thank, I know they've already been acknowledged, but they stick out with the purple shirts, the relentless intervention specialists that are here. They're an important partner in this as well, because again, they're out there to try to diminish some of the situations that are highly charged, that may lead to more crime and other things. So having them here, the holistic assistance response teams as well with Harris County Public Health. Director Williams, I still call you Director, good to see you here. Stephen Williams as well. He was instrumental many years ago in helping us stand up the My Brother's Keeper when he was then working in the city of Houston under several mayors, and so that was very instrumental. But Commissioner Ellis, thank you so much for the investment in art. I'm a big believer in the healing power of art and what it can do, and also, of course, in education. My father wasn't able to read and write, and so I saw the impacts of not having an education. But here I stand before you, being able to accomplish big things because they believed in me and gave me a chance to have education. So thank you all for everything you do every day.
Thank you so much. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the superintendent as well, and the board members, and the artists, and the students. By the way, they did these 11 days, 10, 11 days. Had a little rain, maybe 11 days at most. Can you imagine? But Superintendent, thank you all so much for what you did. And Trinita, now turn it back over to you. Trinita in charge. Tebow, I get to introduce Tebow as well. So Tebow and Audrey Decker, I met them during the pandemic, and they were painting their first mural in Houston, downtown. It is the anti-hunger mural. It's you see him when he stands up here. You notice that one downtown. And I passed by a couple of times wondering what they were doing. And then I said, I could tell they didn't know. I said, I'm Rodney Ellis. And about the second time I could tell them, well, who the hell's Rodney Ellis? So I said, well, I'm kind of in politics around here. I know a few people. And I said, who's paying for this? And then once I got to know him, I called Mayor Turner. They mentioned that the mayor of New Orleans, it was during the pandemic, the mayor of New Orleans had the New Orleans Philharmonic Orchestra show up. So I called Sylvester Turner and I said, well, we're going to have a gospel choir or something out here. It was the first publicly event we had as the pandemic was ending. We did it outside. I had them at my home. They could only go inside to go to the restroom. We didn't know if they had COVID or not. Took them on a bike ride through downtown Houston. And since then, we have collaborated now with these 8+ locations. We ought to be getting close to 80 murals by now, all throughout Houston. And they brought together a magnificent group of artists that they're going to introduce. One I introduced them to, because I bought a piece of his art in Cape Town, South Africa. And then one of my staffers said, you can find him on this thing called Facebook. So we tracked him down, and now he lives in Houston and Los Angeles. But would you please welcome our curators, Thibaut and Audrey Decker of Street Art for Mankind.
Okay, wow. Hi, everyone. Very happy, of course, to be here. My name is Thibaut Decker, and with Audrey, we are the co-founders of Street Art for Mankind. So my role will be to tell you a bit more of what we do. I'd love for that, you know what, instead of calling you at the end, could the artists come forward also? I want people to acknowledge you also at the same time, and then give you a chance also to talk about your pieces and say a few words, even though we will be short, Rodney, I promise. Yeah. So, Street Art for Mankind. Street Art for Mankind we created with Audrey 10 years ago, and we really under that belief that, you know, art in general can touch hearts, minds, and souls. And the objective at that time was, because we met with the Nobel Kailash Satyarthi, who fights against child trafficking. That's where we're rooted with the Interrupters, was to actually do something with what we could, with friends that we had, artists, and create a Street Art for Mankind to attract people's attention, but also to fund Red and Rescue of kids around the world, which is what we continue to do every year. We don't talk too much about it, but yes, that's for us very important. Of course, today we talk with our art and their art in general of way more than just child trafficking. We work with the United Nations, we work with Commissioner Ellis to bring communities together, because we do believe that art has that healing power, as you said, has that capacity to have people, just to uplift, have people think and stop them in their day-to-day and start a conversation in the streets. And that's really what we do at Street Art for Mankind. So I'm going to give the mic maybe to Audrey to talk a bit more about the series here, so we can all have a little talk. I talk way too much, so and explain a bit more about I Choose to Rise and why we're here.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, we are very happy to be here and very happy to have the wonderful artists here. So we have just around, before I start, I just want to recognize them because they're just awesome. So Bimbo Adenugba from this side here. Then we have Adriana Woods, Ade Odunfa, who actually did the mural behind here, and Devona Stimson. So awesome artists. There are 4 of the 8 artists who's been participating in this series. So just to start about I Choose to Rise, how it started, because you might be interested to really understand where really it's coming from which part of the heart does it come from. So, I mean, it was an inspiration, first, of course, from the leadership of Commissioner Rodney Ellis, who's, you know, always have a big vision behind literally everything. But also the Rights Community Center that we visited, and when we met the purple ladies and gentlemen that are here, and yes, let's maybe another round of applause for them, because truly, as Thibaut mentioned, we started with the fight against human trafficking, and when we met with them, we really felt so much touched, because it's so connected to our roots that we were like, I remember we went out of the center, we said, okay, well, we're going to do something that's going to be truly meaningful, and we're going to do that for them. For them, we're going to do this. And then we met with the board, and the vision of the board, Superintendent Cuellar, and all what we was hearing from you, from your team, reading about the schools, meeting with the students, and then we really say, oh no, we're also doing it all for them, because they are awesome students and we want to inspire them. And again, Julia, we want to recognize your poem. I mean, I was almost crying, I think, when I heard you, because, oh my God, that's so strong. And that's exactly what we wanted you guys to feel, like inspired, empowered, and feel, yeah, I can do that. I can make a great life for myself and for my friends and for my community. So thank you for sharing that with us today, because it felt really like full circle to us. So thank you for making it happen. So I Choose to Rise is about really empowering the students and the community to really choose what they want to become. And we did it over those 8 mural projects with these 8 artists, and every time there was a different theme. So I'm not going to go through everything, but I just wanted to highlight some, to show you some of the highlights. For example, the mural here by Ade Odumfa. This is really inspired by the Mustang. And the Mustang are the horses, of course, that the symbol of the school. And this is really about having kids that are basically riding bareback, we say, really to their future. And this is really talking about perseverance and the importance to believe in your dreams. And the other one that you see over here from Ana Marieta, this one is really a signature style of the artist. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, but I want to talk briefly about it because also this is really interesting. Again, this one is inspired by the school, but this time we took inspiration from the career path. And we were truly impressed discussing with the superintendent, with the teacher, with the community about all the different opportunities that are offered to those kids. And here you can see, for example, so the spheres are to talk about architecture, and then you see the poles. There is wires that connect to the pole, and this is to talk about engineering. And the pole itself is to talk about medicine and the nurses way with the robe of Asclepius. That's the way we say it, to talk about medicine. So yeah, that really different part of the dreams that we wanted to talk about. And this one is called Geometry of Dreams. And then on that campus, you also have two other beautiful murals. One is by Devona Stimson. She said a few words about it, but this is basically about rising through the arts. And then there is another one by Emily Dink. This is about sustainability. And Julia talked about it a bit when she was mentioning about the importance for youth to, rise for our planet. And then when you go to the middle school, I'm going to be short, but just because I think it's pretty cool, we have Bimbo, who did a really cool mural that talks about inclusion and diversity, the importance of sports, the importance of music to unite people and to really inspire change. And there are two more at the elementary school, which are also awesome murals. And I invite you all, if you haven't seen them, to see them. But I would like to finish because those murals were not only the opportunity, to create this inspiring work with the artists, but it was also to engage with the students. So I want to tell you briefly about that because for Thibaut and I, that's really something super important when we come to the community, not only to talk to them prior, take inspiration, but also to engage them with the work as we do it. So this time there is few ways we did it, and I would like to recognize the elementary school kiddos who are right there, because many of them, with Miss Hill, who is the art teacher, they are actually artists now because they painted with us. They painted with us, but I would say they went painted with Adriana Wood, who is right here. So she had them painting a pillar of the school inspired by the work that she did. So we have little artists here, and it was really fun and very inspiring, and they're really cool kids, I can tell you, and very, very talented. So that was how we engaged with the elementary school. We engaged more, but just in a very short. Then with the middle school, what we did is that we met them in the class and we talked. We talked about art for social change. We talked about art with a purpose. We even talked about the United Nations. We really had a great, great conversation with them. And then in the high school, we talked with the art students, and actually they created those works that are here, that are inspired actually by the theme, the same 8 themes that we had for the different murals. They created those little works. So they had some passion about this, and we were really happy to have this little, this little thing with them and to spend this time with them. So we want to thank you again for really trusting us, believing in art with a purpose, and inspiring us probably even more than we try to inspire you. And we would like now to give some time to the artists to say a few words. So starting with Devona Stimson.
Hi everybody, my name is Devona Stimson, and I'm an artist and muralist based here in Houston, Texas. I had the opportunity to paint a mural here at Westfield High School inside the Performing Arts Center, and it's rooted in the theme of integrity and responsibility, which if you pursue anything in the arts, whether it's dance, painting, music, whatever it is, it takes a lot of responsibility and integrity. And I just hope that the mural that I painted inspires this generation and the future generations to just do that and keep pursuing a creative future, especially as someone who is a professional in the arts. So thank you guys for having me. Thank you everybody who was a part of this project. And yeah, thank you guys.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adeo Dunfor. I'm a painter, a public artist, and a muralist now. And this is my very first major mural. You know, yeah. And it's called Free Spirit Golden Art, and it gives you the idea that I went through, you know, painting this, and if I can achieve this, you know, I think any children, any student can achieve whatever they dream of. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. My name is Adriana Woods. I've been a full-time artist for 7 years now. Thank you to Tebow and Audrey. This is also my biggest wall that I did over at Bamwell Elementary. My mural is called Imagination in Motion, basically expressing the more we learn, the more we dive into school and things that we love, the more opportunities that we're going to have in life and the more we can dream and make those things come true. So thank you guys all so much for just having me. It's been an honor.
Hello, everybody. My name is Samson Bimbo Adenuga. I'm a public artist. Yeah, everything. I want to thank the leadership of Commissioner Rodney Ellis. It's been a great one, transforming Harris County and the platform of this Trader for Mankind. Talk about Tebow and Audrey Decker. The mural I painted is in Bamwell Middle School. It's called One Rhythm, and one Rhythm, Many Voices. It's actually talking about diversity and and inclusion. And I zeroed in on sport and also music, which is what actually takes your heart in. Like if you put your heart into it, you achieve glory, you know. So, and you will see some inscriptions, which I put inscriptions of adinkra symbols, talking about dignity, wisdom, you know, all the positive stuff that will give you the halo of glory if you put your heart into it. And it's just a soft, prophecy into the life of the students, and that if we put our heart into whatever good thing, we'll make a change and make the world a better place. Thank you.
And just to let you know that we have an app behind the wall, so all the speeches, all the thoughts of the artist painting the mural, and all the experts from the school, they're going to be on the app so you can hear everything.
Thank you. Give them a warm round of applause. Great work. Representative Charlene Johnson, I know we recognize you, but give another round of applause. She does so much work to help us in Austin. Look, my staff members who are here, Patrick Grant, Randy Gay, Yvonne Gardinas, David Ellison, Alex Preston, Catherine Summerline, and Stephen Williams, Sheriff he didn't work with. Give them all a round of applause. They do a great job. Look, don't miss this tour. We're going to have close out. She's going to come back up and then introduce our closing guests. But take the time to go to all 8 locations. I'm going to do my best, even if I forget to go get my coat and end up in Chicago and get pneumonia. But if Sheriff and DA, you came out 30 minutes to come out here to this great heavenly place in Cypress Station, so look at all of them. But look, we are so proud and so glad. Thank you all for being here. And now you'll close us out with our special guest. Thank you. Come a long way.
Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Decker, for all of your inspiration and all of our artists who are here. Thank you. Johnny is actually going to introduce our last performance for this ceremony, but I do want to remind us when the ceremony is over, if we'll please hang back so that we can take our staged photos. So honored invited guests, please remain with us. Johnny?
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're so glad you joined us today. Today we have another brilliant scholar from right here in Spring ISD. Put your hands together for Spring High School senior Ariana, participated and had a part in doing this project. Thank you to their teachers. We really, really appreciate you. So to close this out,
you're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains, bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you.
Those who spoke and the elected officials, let's take our photo and then let's do our tour. Then we rise up, right?